Hi everybody, and welcome to this tutorial where we are going to pay close attention to drawing the nose. And noses are, quite difficult to draw. There's a lot of cartilage too, just like the ear. And in this case I'm using the 3/4 position. And first I want to draw in the center line, which is exactly in the middle of the nose. But because this is a 3/4 position, I first want to determine the direction that this nose is coming from. And from that center line down, I can draw in the contour line, and I can easily see the bridge of the nose. So it's a 3/4, as I said. So the left side is foreshortened and the right side is much bigger. You can see here the tip of the nose, so I draw that one in too. And this is the part, the underneath of the nose, and then it connects towards our upper lip. And it folds around. There's a lot of cartilage there too. And you can just see the outer nostril. It's just coming from behind that tip of the nose, but it's very, very tiny. It's just noticeable. And the right nostril, of course, is completely in the picture. Now, on my Patreon page, I made a full tutorial out of this. And I'm paying close attention to noses, different kinds of noses, how it's all built up. So maybe if you are interested in learning more about the nose, then you can check out my Patreon page. But let's continue here. This is the nostril and the wing of the nose. This is the tip of the nose, and you can see, I'm pointing out that line here. This is the line for the underneath of the nose, which is completely in the shadow. Now here the cartilage folds around, and this is that wing of the nose, the side of the nose. So I'm checking out where to place this part, of course. And I'm checking everything again and again. Maybe it needs a little bit more, maybe it's a little bit more tiny, but let's see the side plane. Now this is where the side of the nose connects to the rest of the face. And you can see here, this is the line for the side plane, and then here is an extra muscle. And that is very important to see those muscles a little bit, and where the eye sockets are starting, and then you can see the other muscle there. Those are Riley lines, and I always keep notice of them. So lower part, then this is where the nose turns around, going towards the face. Let's foreshorten that nostril a little bit, that wing. So making that a little bit tinier. And of course, some people have very broad noses or flat noses or turned up noses. There are lots of different kinds of noses, of course, but this is your average nose, and this is that little, it's a tiny gutter, and that's the connection between the lower plane of the nose connecting to the upper area of the lip. And that gutter is stretched out once we smile. And if you were to pinch your lips together, then that little gutter will also pinch together. So that's an important part that I want to draw in. And I also draw in that piece of clay. So I'm trying to think as a sculpturist, and I also draw in that piece of clay. So in that way I can put in the gray values that surrounds the nose, and in that way the nose will pop out more in 3D. And I think it's important to draw in the surrounding of the nose, because otherwise you would have a nose floating around in space. And I decided to draw in that piece of clay, or maybe it's a marble stone or something. But well, I really needed to make, for instance, the bridge of the nose pop out, which catches a lot of light. So drawing in the whole area is very helpful in developing your feel of 3D. Now the lower part of the nose, of course, catches a lot of shadow. So I'm placing in those shadows all around, and I simply keep paying attention to all the gray values that I see. I compare them with each other, and in that way I'm trying to create that great difference in contrast. You can see it here by putting a little bit of contrast on the left side of the nose. Then immediately the tip of the nose pops out even better. So that's the way I'm working, and I'm using the Wolf Carbon charcoal pencil for this. And my paper is the Ami newsprint paper, which is very cheap and very, very much ideal for making sketches and studies like these. And they bring me a lot of information, and they help me develop my drawing skills a lot. And because it's very cheap, I do not have to worry too much to make mistakes. Now, and this is a broad brush, which is clean and dry. And I use that brush to push in the pigments. And I'm kind of dirtying up all of my drawing. And the drawing stays on the paper. And then I'm using my pencil eraser to get rid of hard contour lines and to pop out the highlights, of course. And that's very easily done after using that brush, or you can use a paper towel if you want, if you do not have a brush. By dirtying up the whole area of drawing, pushing in those pigments, and then working your way around and drawing back in the light, or kind of erasing back in the light. And that is what brings a great feel of 3D to your drawing. And you can always go back in again with the charcoal pencil. And this technique also works with graphite pencils or pastel pencils, for instance. So it's all working the same. Not with color pencils, by the way. Those are very greasy and those are harder to blend. But all the dry media and the graphites, those will blend very easily together. Now, to make that piece of clay or marble a little bit brighter, you can also decide to put in a gray value around your drawing. And then you can use the blender stick, and you can blend everything together. And the blender stick is also a very nice tool to use and to blend in your pigments into the paper, driving them in there. You can also use that same blender stick, of course, in the drawing itself if you want to make everything a little bit more soft, to get that soft feel. And together with the pencil eraser, you can achieve great and realistic effects, even if it's just a simple sketch. But it's a marvelous study to do, and I hope you will give this a try. And maybe you want to learn more about drawing faces and the different kinds of features. Then, of course, you can find me also on my Patreon page for all the real-time stuff. So, this is our notes. Thank you for watching, and keep up the good practice. I will see you again in our next tutorial.